Hey, it's Ethan here at eTrailer. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Yakima Gatekeeper 5-bike tailgate pad and how it fits on our 2022 Nissan Frontier. So with our Frontier, we don't actually have a hitch on it, so we can't get any hitch bike racks unless we install a hitch. So this might be the next best solution to get 5 bikes where we need them to go. It's just going to install right on our tailgate here, and it turns your bed into a bike rack essentially. Let's check it out. On the back of the pad here, we can see how the bikes are being held just by the frame here using these pads and the straps. So there's going to be a little bit of side-to-side movement depending on how tight you can get that strap. It's kind of just how the tailgate pads are going to go. If we take a closer look at this one here, you can see how thick that padding is. It's really nice and really supportive, but still we wouldn't recommend using a carbon frame bike. It's because it could potentially damage that frame while you're driving. The straps have a pad on them as well. So the frame is going to be pretty well protected, but still be wary about using carbon frame. While we're back here, we can talk about how we install the tailgate pad. So we have these 3 straps with these nylon strips running along the end of them. So you're going to open the tailgate just a little bit, feed those under and through, and then we'll tighten them up with these buckles here. So honestly, with this truck, there's a good amount of room and they weren't too tough to install. And the fact that these are so rigid here helps us feed them through and pull them up on the end. If we come down over here, we can see that we do also have this built-in grommet for a cable lock. If we want to secure all our bikes through that cable lock and then feed that here and around itself, it's just going to be another layer of security. On the tailgate here, you can see that we don't have the largest truck in the world, but I still wouldn't mind just a little bit more coverage. That being said, the forks of our bike are still protected against our tailgate by the pad, so depending on how many bikes you choose to load up here, that could be a little bit complicated. That's one of the drawbacks of using a tailgate pad like this, is that you're going to be really hard pressed to avoid any sort of bike-to-bike contact, especially if you want to load it up with 5 bikes. From here though, we can get the bike removed, starting by just loosening the strap up a little bit depending on how tight you got it. The hook's going to be a little tough to get out. Also, depending on how heavy the bike is that you're choosing to use, that could also be pretty tough to lift up and over the tailgate, which again is just sort of one of the downsides of using a tailgate pad like this. But our bike here isn't too bad, so I'm just going to grab it, lift it up and over, and that's how you get your bike off. With the bike removed, we can take a closer look now at this flap here. So if we open that up, that's how we get to our tailgate, so we access it, and also our backup camera is now going to be visible. It's got a hook and loop strap as well as 2 buttons. One thing I will say is that I wish it had some sort of buckle or something on the top here so that I could latch it on the back side, because once I fold it over, it just kind of hangs there and it's going to be bouncing around. Also, on the inside, you can see the material that we're going to be dealing with. Just a nice soft felt. That's what the entire thing is going to be made of. This is just the easiest way to point it out. It's going to do a great job of protecting the paint and our tailgate in general once this is folded down in this position. The pad is made of nylon, so it's going to be abrasion and weather resistant as well as UV ray resistant, so it should hold up to a good amount of use, weather, wear and tear over time. Also in our case, you can see we have the blue model, and it's got this nice little mountain design on it, so it looks pretty cool at the same time. So it should last for a while, and it also looks nice. Overall, if you're looking for an entry-level way to get 5 bikes where you need them to go, especially in our case where we don't have a hitch and we need to get that many bikes where we need to go, tailgate pad is going to be one of the only options that you have. It's really easy to install, take off when you're not using it. There's probably going to be a little bit of bike-to-bike contact, and it could prove to be a little bit difficult to actually get up to 5 bikes on there. But in the case of our Nissan Frontier here, I think it's still a really solid choice. This was just a quick look at the Yakima Gatekeeper 5-bike tailgate pad and how it fit on our 2022 Nissan Frontier.